The lawyer was already closing his briefcase. The courtroom was already standing for sentencing, when a child's crayon drawing slid across the floor. Nobody noticed it at first. Not the judge, not the prosecutor, not even the lawyer who had just given up. Because the case was finished. An innocent man was seconds away from prison. Until the lawyer bent down, picked it up, and realized the picture showed something impossible. 2 cars beside a burning warehouse. Police said there was only one. That was the moment the entire courtroom understood. Someone had planned this lie perfectly. If stories where small truths expose powerful lies keep you watching, subscribe to the Unheard Witness. Because sometimes justice begins with the question nobody thought to ask. The case had dragged for 8 months. A warehouse fire. 1 security guard dead. Millions lost. And 1 man blamed for sabotage. The accused sat quietly beside him. Head lowered, hands folded like someone already practicing prison life. The prosecution called him greedy. Said he burned the company after being fired. Emails showed anger. Arguments. Threats. Written late at night. Even security footage placed him near the building hours before the fire. The jury looked tired. The lawyer looked defeated. He leaned close to his client. "We did everything we could." The man nodded slowly. No anger, just exhaustion. Across the courtroom sat a woman holding a small child, the widow of the dead guard. Her daughter colored silently with crayons on the bench, too young to understand trials, old enough to notice silence. The judge prepared closing statements. The lawyer stood halfway, ready to surrender. Then something slid across the courtroom floor, a piece of paper. Nobody noticed at first, except him. A child's drawing, bright crayon lines, stick figures, a building, flames, and beside the fire, 2 cars. Not 1. The lawyer froze, because only 1 vehicle had ever been mentioned. He picked up the drawing slowly. The little girl watched him, unbothered. She smiled politely. Children rarely understand tension. He almost returned it, almost ignored it. But something bothered him. 2 cars, 1 red, 1 black. The prosecution timeline insisted only 1 person visited the warehouse that night. His client. Security cameras supported it, or so everyone believed. He crouched beside her gently. "Did you draw this today?" She nodded. "That's Daddy's work," she said softly. Her mother stiffened instantly. "Sweetheart, stop bothering people." But the lawyer asked anyway. "Who are the cars?" She pointed without hesitation. "That one is Loud, the black car." Daddy said loud cars come when bosses argue. Confused murmurs moved inside his mind. Children repeat what they hear, sometimes accidentally. He stood slowly, heartbeat changing rhythm. Closing arguments began anyway. The prosecutor spoke confidently. Motive, opportunity, anger, the perfect story. Fire investigators confirmed accelerant traces. Access card records showed entry. Everything neat, everything logical. When his turn came, the defense lawyer surprised himself. He didn't argue innocence. Instead, he asked 1 request. "Your Honor, permission to recall 1 witness." Groans filled the courtroom. The judge frowned. "On what grounds?" He held up the drawing. Silence followed. Curiosity always wins over irritation. Permission granted reluctantly. The widow returned to the stand, uncomfortable, confused. He approached carefully. "Your husband worked late shifts often?" "Yes." "Did he ever mention disputes between management?" Her attorney objected. Overruled. She hesitated. "Sometimes." "What kind?" She swallowed. "He said executives visited after hours." The prosecutor stood immediately. "Speculation." But doubt had entered. The lawyer continued. Did he describe vehicles? Pause. Now her eyes flickered briefly. A black sedan? The courtroom shifted. Because no black sedan existed in evidence. Police reports mentioned none. Security footage never showed one. The prosecutor interrupted again. Memory influenced by grief. Maybe, except the lawyer already sensed momentum changing. Court adjourned for investigation. Police reluctantly reviewed unused camera angles. Old warehouses rarely maintain full coverage. Most cameras faced entrances only. Except one. A broken loading dock camera investigators dismissed months earlier. Corrupted footage, or so they believed. Technology technicians tried again. Recovered fragments. Grainy, incomplete, but enough. At 11:47 p.m., headlights appeared. Low, wide, luxury vehicle shape. Black sedan. Yet entering through side access gate. 30 minutes before the accused arrived, the room went quiet watching playback. Someone else had been there first. The prosecutor argued coincidence. Corporate inspection maybe. Maintenance visit. Records showed nothing. Gate logs mysteriously wiped. That raised new questions. Investigators traced nearby traffic cameras, eventually locating clearer footage 2 blocks away. License plate partial. Registered to holding company ownership. Executive Transportation Division. A company owned by the same corporation, destroyed in the fire. Board member access. Someone powerful. The accused stared at screen silently. I told them, he whispered. Nobody heard at first. Told who? His lawyer asked. He hesitated. Or they said not to mention executives. Fear lived inside those words. The board member was summoned. Expensive suit. Perfect calm. He denied everything. Claimed driver error. Vehicle stolen earlier that week. Convenient. Police verified theft report. Filed 2 hours after the fire. Suspicious timing. But still plausible. Case almost collapsed again. Until another detail surfaced. The child's drawing. The red car. Nobody had asked about that yet. The lawyer visited the widow privately. Something still unsettled him. Your daughter drew 2 vehicles, he said gently. She looked confused. She draws everything. What color is your husband's car? She blinked. Red. Cold realization settled slowly. Investigators checked parking records, and the guard's vehicle should have been outside during shift. But fire photos showed no red car nearby, meaning he had moved it. Why? New search conducted behind warehouse perimeter. Overgrown gravel lot, hidden from street view. Under ash and debris sat melted metal. A burned red sedan. The guard never died inside the warehouse. He died beside his own car. Autopsy re-examined. Smoke inhalation minimal. Blunt trauma discovered earlier dismissed as collapse injury. Now reconsidered. Impact angle suggested struggle. Someone confronted him outside. Before fire started. The board member changed tone quickly afterward. Requested private negotiation. Denied again. Public proceedings resumed. Pressure mounting. Stock prices falling. Media arriving. The story no longer belonged only to lawyers. Then came the twist nobody expected. Financial auditors uncovered internal fraud investigation weeks before fire. Millions missing. Embezzlement traced toward executive accounts. Warehouse scheduled for audit storage review. Paper files, hard copies, evidence. The guard discovered something. Wrong person, wrong night. Someone needed those records gone. Fire wasn't revenge. It was clean up. Cross-examination broke the board member slowly. Sweat appearing, voice tightening. The lawyer showed timeline projections, vehicle entry, guard movement, missing records, security access overrides, authorized only by executive clearance. His silence lasted too long. Juries noticed silence. Finally, he snapped. "I never meant for anyone to die." Gasps echoed everywhere. Confession without preparation always sounds honest. He described argument. Guard refused entry, threatened to call police, pushed during struggle, head struck pavement. Panic followed. Fire staged afterward. The accused employee became perfect scapegoat. Angry emails already existed. Narrative ready. All they needed was silence. And they almost had it. The accused man sat motionless. 8 months stolen from him. Career destroyed. Family reputation ruined. All because truth arrived late. The widow cried quietly, not from revenge, from relief, because uncertainty finally ended. Her daughter colored again, quietly beside her. Unaware, she changed everything. Sentencing day felt heavier. Where executives rarely sit, where defendants sit. He avoided eye contact. No confidence left. The judge spoke carefully. Justice delayed nearly became justice denied. Corporate sabotage charges dismissed immediately against the accused. Public apology ordered. Financial restitution granted, but reputation damage never repairs fully. Outside the courthouse, reporters shouted questions. He ignored them. Freedom feels strange after expecting prison. Weeks later, the lawyer received an envelope. No return address. Inside sat another drawing. The same warehouse, but this time, no fire. 2 stick figures standing together. One tall, one small. A red crayon sun overhead. On the back were messy, handwritten words. "Mom said you helped Daddy tell the truth." He sat quietly for a long time afterward. And because lawyers win cases often, but rarely because a child noticed something adults ignored. Across the street, traffic moved normally. People argued, phones rang. Life continued loudly. Yet justice sometimes arrives quietly, not through brilliant speeches, not through dramatic evidence, sometimes through a drawing that refused to make sense.